Atheists are ignorant and dumb. You have two ends of ignorant stupidity when it comes to religion. On one end you have the religious freaks who believe every single thing they've been taught to believe, and every single word of whatever Bible they believe is the right one. Usually they're very hateful and pushy, and everyone's going to hell. Then on the opposite end you have the atheists who are like, no, that's all wrong, it's all fake, science this, science that. And they're usually just as hateful and childish in their attitudes. Well, both sides are ignorant and dumb. They are basically the same people, just on opposite sides of the argument. Except atheists are a little worse, and I'll get to that in a minute. But first, there's a reason why the arguments keep on and on and on between the two sides. The reason is that both sides try to prove the other is wrong. Somehow prove it. With science or bananas or whatever. The problem with this, especially using science, is that there are no laws.
No laws.
There are no facts.
No facts.
The truth is that science is shit.
Is shit.
At least in use of people trying to prove something. Scientific laws are just things we aren't able to prove wrong with the knowledge and technology we have at the moment. We will never be able to truly prove something as a fact, because our knowledge and understanding will always be limited in the present. We have no idea what knowledge and understanding people will have in the future to disprove what we have right now and believe to be facts. How long ago did people know that the world being flat was a fact? It seems silly now, but people then didn't have the knowledge that we have now. Just like we don't have the knowledge people will have 1,000 years from now. Maybe in 1,000 years, kids in the 3rd grade will laugh at how people in the 2000s actually believed gravity is what kept everything from floating into space, or something like that. We just don't know. But what everyone should know is that there are no damn facts.
No damn facts.
There are no fucking laws.
No fucking laws.
And anything we think we might know could easily be wrong. So, with that said, there is no way to prove anything at all. And now I'll get into why atheists are worse than churchy freaks. First off, they have no logic. Well, they do, but it's shit.
It's shit.
An atheist's go-to argument usually involves science and the theory of evolution in the Big Bang Theory. But those theories, if real, could just as easily have been the work of a higher being. Both sides can try to argue those in their favor. If anything, science is more of an enemy to atheists. Think about light waves, radio waves, magnetic fields, and so on. Think about all the many different things all around us and going through us every day that we can't even perceive. We can't touch, taste, smell, see, or hear any of them. But eventually humans developed the knowledge and devices to detect them. Well, what else is here? Are you really ignorant enough to believe that we have discovered everything?
You ignorant?
What else is around us that we don't know of yet? Maybe other dimensions? Maybe forms of energy we don't even know how to detect. Maybe forms of energy inside our own bodies that remains even after the flesh is dead. You don't fucking know.
You don't fucking know.
And yet, atheists stupidly make definitive claims that there is nothing.
They so stupid.
How close-minded. And what makes it worse is that a lot of atheists think they are being intelligent, when it's just the opposite. They for some reason lump the idea of God and heaven and spirits in with magic and fairy tales, and they separate the divine and science. So tell me, what is magic? An unseen force or something mysterious you can't explain? Well, people have seen things that could be called magic all through the ages, but once we start figuring out how something works, we call it science. Just like at some point a grizzly bear was a fucking monster.
Fucking monster.
But now that humans have progressed and studied them and given them scientific names and classifications, it's just an animal. But have atheists ever considered that if a higher being were to do something like create a universe, or create a little frog, or make someone's heart start beating again, that it wouldn't just happen like magic with no scientific trace, but there would be a method, and some of it we might be able to study and see how it happened. Why do they keep trying to separate God and science? Just because we can study something and see how it happens, this makes this happen, that made this happen, and so on, that doesn't mean that it wasn't the work of a higher being. Just because we turned monsters into animals doesn't mean it actually changed anything. Bears are still monsters that kill and eat dumb humans every year. Just the stigma and our attitudes towards them have changed. And just because we might find out how a miracle scientifically happened doesn't mean that it wasn't divine intervention. If scientists discovered proof of ghosts and could explain how they exist, it would just become science to us. Just another phenomenon like the Northern Lights that we now know how to explain. But that wouldn't change the fact that they're fucking ghosts.
Fucking ghosts?
Science and God are not unrelated things. But now I'm going to finish up here with some more pathetic ways in which atheists are dumb. A lot of them are actually just rebelling against their upbringings or against the pushy church freaks they've grown up around. Way to let someone else affect what you believe, atheists. And way to drive people to the other side, churchies.
Owned on both sides.
Then you have the educated, snobby idiots who look down on religion and beliefs as just being for the gullible and simple-minded. They think they are being intelligent, but in reality they are just being ignorant dumbasses with no critical thinking ability. You also have a lot of atheists because it's becoming trendy. There are too many dumb shits in the world who just want to fit in somewhere.
Too many dumb shits.
Everyone wants to fit in and be a part of a group or a trend or a scene. Think of all the goths or metalheads or punks that are atheists, because it's not cool to believe in God. Of course, some atheists are all of the above, or a couple of the above, but it doesn't matter which, they are all pathetic. And the religious freaks may not be quite as bad, but they're still retarded too, with their hate and judgments and hypocrisies and trying to force their beliefs on people. But atheists, just because these people are stupid, annoying dumb shits, doesn't mean you should let them affect your beliefs and close your minds to the possibilities out there. God, an afterlife, the beyond, what we don't know and what we can't even contemplate, are not to be connected with crazy religious people. Those people should not be any part of the equation when it comes to you and the truth that you're seeking. Humans are just microscopic specks in the universe, but some of us are ignorant enough to think that we can actually prove or disprove a God. That's like an ant in my backyard trying to understand sarcasm. What the F?
What the fuck?
I said what the F. I know I've dropped a lot of knowledge bombs on you, and I know there will be people dumb enough to try to argue with my truth, but you will be wrong. There's no arguing with what I've said here. Take it and make yourself better. We need more intelligent thinkers, because people are dumb as hell.